What is a record, sports or otherwise, that will likely never be broken? The Lion King has the highest VHS sales of all time. The current record for the Cannonball Run, a drive from New York to LA, is about 25.5 hours. It was set in May of 2020, and the drivers were able to make use of the lack of traffic due to the pandemic to break the record. Barring another similar world-changing event, traffic conditions will probably never be what they were when that record was set. The longest professional tennis match of all time, John Isner vs. Nicolas Mahut at Wimbledon 2010. It lasted 11 hours 5 minutes, spanning 3 days of play, with a final score of 6-4, 3-6, 6-7, 7-6, 70-68. It was already nearly twice as long as the previous record holder. The reason it will likely never be broken is that every professional tournament except for one, Roland Garros, now has tiebreaker rules that limit the number of games that can be played in final sets. Although it's hypothetically possible at RG, clay court tennis is not at all conducive to the serve and volley style of play that led to the insanely long fifth set of Isner Mahut. Oh, I know this one. When I was a kid, we had a Guinness Book of Records lying around that we liked to browse in while bored. There was this one guy in it who held a record for most bikes eaten. No, you did read that right. He ground up a bike and slowly consumed it over I don't know how long a time. The record was accompanied by a note that no further records of bike eating would be accepted, as it was deemed too dangerous. Glenn Hall played 502 consecutive games as an NHL goalie. Zero chance that will ever be broken. Goalies these days rarely play more than 3/4 of an 82-game season, let alone numerous seasons without a night off. Alexander Karelin, Greco-Roman wrestler. 887 wins to 2 losses. Entered 9 world championships and never lost a bout in them. Surprised no one mentioned the unlimited water speed record. The current unlimited record is 511.11 km per hour, 317.59 miles per hour, achieved by Australian Ken Warby in the Spirit of Australia in 1978. It hasn't been broken to this day due to how dangerous it is to go at those sort of speeds on the surface, and plenty of people have passed away trying. Here's the wiki article for the boat, which is kinda interesting. I don't know that passed away applies if you die in a rocket boat accident. Cy Young pitched 749 complete games in his career. The current active pitcher with the most complete games in his career is Adam Wainwright, who has pitched for 17 years and has 27 complete games total. Pitchers just don't pitch the whole game anymore, and Young's record will never come close to being touched. Edit. To put Young's record in further perspective relative to modern-day pitchers, I looked up career complete game stats for all current MLB pitchers, and there are 124 pitchers total who have at least one complete game in their career, for a total of 505 collectively, 244 less than Cy Young alone pitched in his career. John Isner hit 113 aces in his 70-68 match at Wimbledon, played over 3 days. That record will never be broken because Wimbledon changed their rules so they can't play that many games ever again. Wayne Gretzky's career points. Does he still have more assists than anyone else has total points? Yes, he had 1963 assists. Jagr is second in points all-time with 1921. The Voyager golden record is now in deep space and is extremely unlikely to ever come across anything which could break it before the end of humanity. Voyager, in case it's ever encountered by extraterrestrials, is carrying photos of life on Earth, greetings in 55 languages, and a collection of music from Gregorian chants to Chuck Berry, including Dark Was the Night, Cold Was the Ground by 20s bluesman Blind Willie Johnson, whose stepmother blinded him when he was 7 by throwing light in his eyes after his father had beat her for being with another man. He died, penniless, of pneumonia after sleeping bundled in wet newspapers in the ruins of his house that burned down. But his music just left the solar system. Josh Lyman. Rickey Henderson's all-time stolen base record. The number 2 guy on the list, Lou Brock, only has about 2/3 as many stolen bases as Henderson, 1406 versus 938. Not only that, but the active leader, D. Gordon, is 1,000 shy of Henderson. Wade Boggs drank 64 beers on a domestic flight. R.I.P. Wade Boggs. Hans Heyer's DNQ, DNF, and DSQ in one F1 race. Did not qualify, did not finish, and disqualified. He did not qualify because he was too slow, started anyway by sneaking his car in. Only when his gearbox failed after 10 laps was it realized that Hire should not have been competing, whereupon he was disqualified. Tiger Woods won 42 consecutive cuts made. Didn't miss a cut between 1998 and 2005. Ronnie O'Sullivan's quickest maximum 147 break. Luigi Fagioli won the 1951 French Grand Prix at the age of 53 years, 22 days, making him the oldest F1 winner in history. Given that F1 drivers rarely continue driving past 40 anymore, this record looks pretty safe. Secretariat's Belmont record. Joe DiMaggio's consecutive hit streak. Ichiro's 262 hits in a season. Max Verstappen being the youngest F1 driver to hit the grid at age 17. He is the reason why there's now a minimum age requirement for F1 and their license.
That's all for today. If you want to hear more hilarious, scary, devastating, jaw-dropping, heartwarming, amazing Reddit content, like and subscribe and hit the notification bell for more content. Thanks and have a great day.